Welcome back everybody, Chris Bricks here, and today is a new build. Now before we get to that, if you've been following this channel the last 3 weeks, we've been building the Stinger RS from Nifliz. I still haven't figured out how to really pronounce that brand, but that's what we are building. And my reviews on it and the time lapse and everything can be found in the description below. I'll post all 3 parts because this was over 8 hours of build time, so I had to break it up into 3 videos. However, I will say, maybe I'm one of the lucky ones, but I had an exceptional experience building this. It was challenging, difficult at times, self-inflicted because I was trying to rush things too quickly. But overall, I only had a couple problems with like literally 4 pieces. And other than that, the set was flawless. You couldn't tell it apart from a Lego set, to be honest with you. Now, I know that's my experience. It's really hit or miss when it comes to these sets because I had 2 of my subscribers, Dorito and Mike, reach out to me because they're building this set. And I heard a little bit of the horror story with other sets. So, Mike, Dorito, if you're building this set, if it's already done at this point by the time this video comes out, post in the comments, let me know, how did it treat you? Because this one, I was lucky. I didn't have any missing parts. I had one part that was slightly deformed and a couple pieces I had to glue in because they weren't holding tight enough. But other than that, it was great. Looks amazing. Recommend it, but do it at your own risk because, you know, apparently these sets are not all created equal. Anyways, now this week, I dropped this hint for you for the video. And as you can see, it was just a silhouette. And if you got a keen eye, you'll know exactly what it is. And I also dropped the hint that this was a 2026 set. That's right, my store finally put in the new 2026 Spee Champions sets and did not include the Back to the Future one. I'm still looking for this. I thought I had it in stock at a local store, ordered it immediately just to find out, it was lying to me. They don't have any in stock. So, still waiting on that if LEGO wants to help, you know, help a fellow builder out. I know I don't have 100,000 followers, but, you know, small channel. Wouldn't it be great to have that on it? And plus, as you can see from my little Back to the Future shelf over there, I have the paper where Marty is arrested. I have Pepsi Perfect. I have the big DeLorean. Wouldn't it look great to have the little one right beside it? I think so. So, if you're listening, please send me that set because I can't get it anywhere, along with a lot of other people apparently. So let's go ahead and get to what we're building this week. Of course, the SF90 XX LEGO Spee Champions. This is one of the new releases for January 2026, and of the group, I think it's the best looking one besides the Back to the Future. We're going to cut that one out because I can't get it anywhere. But of this one, the McLaren and the Bugatti, I think this is the best looking one. The McLaren looks good too, I will admit that. But the Bugatti looks a little funky, the Spee Champion one. Not gonna lie, I'm still gonna get it eventually, but it's not the prettiest looking one. Maybe it looks different built, I don't know. But this is what we got today. Something a little more simple after spending, you know, 8 hours worth of build time on that, killing the fingers with all those connectors, keeping it positive from last week's video. And this one will be a nice relaxing build. Now you're looking at 339 pieces, so definitely should be sub-hour. I see at least, 6 stickers, but I'm hoping some of this is actually just printed on so you don't have to do it. That'd be amazing, LEGO, especially the headlights and fenders. I know I'm going to have to put those little Ferrari symbols on there, unfortunately. But we go around to the back, and this kit actually looks pretty good. I'm looking forward to building this. So let's get this box open. All right, bag is open. We have 5 bags, none of them too overly filled, so it shouldn't take long per bag. We have about 117 pages of building instructions, which seemed like a lot to me, considering it's 339 pieces, but we'll get through it. I was one off on the stickers. There's actually 7 stickers, but the 7 are not what I expected because on the older Spee Champion Ferraris, the ones that were smaller and about $10 cheaper, they would always have you put on the little tiny emblem just put on those little single pieces, and it'd always be a pain to line them straight and everything. This one, it's not the case. You got two interior pieces here. This side looks like intakes, probably on the back of the vehicle. You do have to put the one on for the hood, which kind of surprised me. I thought that might be printed, but that's it, 7 stickers. That's like 15 less than the Vision GT that we built a while back. So happy about that, can't complain. We also have to do the minifig test because it looks like this person has some stylish hair, and I want them to wear their hair while driving their SF90 XX. Even if the SF90 XX isn't street legal and they have to race it around the track, they should be able to allow the minifig to wear hair and not necessarily a helmet, you know? So we'll definitely do that test, and I'll see, did LEGO let them wear their hair? Which so far, the failure rate has been like about 80% most of the time. If you put a hairpiece on there, the windshield sits on their head and gives them a concussion. So we'll try that at the end of this episode, of course. And I'm hoping, looking at the pieces and the number of pieces, will be around 50 minutes, but we'll see. So let's quit wasting time. Let's build. Bag 1 is done. Now this was a quick one. It's 7 minutes, 54 seconds. And honestly, if you didn't build your minifig right off the bat, it may be quicker than that. So right now we have Aurora. She is excited because she allocated an SF90 XX. I would be making that same face too if I had one waiting for me to race around a track. As you can see, she has her hair all styled up. She's excited. She can't wait to get in her car without messing up her hair with a helmet. We'll see if she can do that. And they gave her a wrench. Still wondering why the McLaren didn't have a wrench for their minifig. I don't know on that one. We'll leave that to interpretation there. But you're left over with about 6 pieces. Pretty good. And like the Mustang Dark Horse, this one is also powered by flowers as well. As you can see, we have the gold colored flowers there, which help this car fly around the track. And so far, just pretty much got what looks like maybe rear diffuser type setup here. And kind of starting the chassis of the car. Really not too much to it. You did add 1 sticker for the interior, probably where the gear selector and center console is. And other than that, not much to say. Pretty straightforward, sub 8 minutes, can't complain. Let's move on to bag 2. Bag 2 is done. You're looking at about 13 minutes, 43 seconds. And as you can see, we got the sides coming in. We got the rear end starting to be built. One thing I could be really appreciative of is this little Ferrari, emblem on the back here. Because I remember previous ones where it was a clear sticker, but it had the Ferrari and you had to put it on there. And of course, the second you touch it, you had your fingerprints on it and your fingerprints would stay on your Ferrari forever. And the sticker, it was just never the same. It was always so much better just to print it on, and I'm glad LEGO finally did. You do have 2 stickers, your 2 intakes here. So we're almost halfway through the stickers already. And not too much else about this. We got the rear diffuser put on there. We got the exhaust put in, and everything was pretty straightforward. Nothing too complicated, to be honest with you. The only one I wondered was right here, and it's hard to see it. Right there, there's like 2 single stacked small pieces. Now they make a single piece that's that size, and I'm just curious why LEGO didn't use it. I've seen it more in their modern sets, but this is 2026, so I thought it would include that one. It would make it a lot smoother looking and just easier than trying to line 2 of the flat 1x1s and get them all perfectly straightened, and just use that piece instead. But, I'm not LEGO. Anyways, let's get on to bag 3. Bag 3 is done. You're looking at 8 minutes, 38 seconds. And as you can see, we got a lot of the front end done. All of this here was pretty much bag 3. We also added 1 sticker in this bag, and that's for the passenger kind of display so you can see how fast over the speed limit you're going. We also have a little steering connector, I'm assuming so because it looks like it would be, set in. And also these pieces here, which kind of start to add to the front aero of the car. Now these pieces are pretty intricate, so make sure you're just paying attention to it. That way you can build it once, not have to build it twice. I was paying attention, not rushing it this time, so it came out good the first time, and it's looking pretty nice. Pretty straightforward part of the build. Like I said, sub 9 minutes, pretty quick and easy. 1 sticker, and Aurora, she's giddy with excitement because her car is nearly complete. Let's move on to bag 4. Bag 4 is complete. You're looking at 8 minutes, 27 seconds. Another quick bag, but a very important bag because you get the front end really built on this car. You also have the dashboard built, and you can see the kind of steering wheel setup with the dash. I will say, this dash, I know it's little stuff like this that always gets me. This dash is one of the best looking dashes in a Spee Champions I've seen in a long time. I like the wheel placement. I like how they have like the little vents, the screen sitting there. Everything looks really good on this car, especially the dash area. And honestly, this is a good looking car. This is so far and it's not even fully built. Can't wait to get it built. And of course, we put on the rear spoiler sitting here, and that was made up of a few pieces too. Instead of the traditional just flat piece across, gave it a little more style, which I really like and appreciate. I also like this center here because, sometimes on the Ferraris you'll see that little yellow with a prancing horse sitting right in the middle. I like that little touch as well. And we just have one bag left. So far it's been pretty quick. Bag 2 I think was the longest one. Everything else has been sub 10 minutes, which is awesome. So let's get this thing finished and do the test with Aurora to see if her hair fits in it. And hopefully it's all a happy ending and everything's all good on that front. But can't reiterate, this is a good looking Spee Champion. I'm glad I picked this one of the 3 supercar ones so far for 2026. Anyways, let's build. So on step 121, now my instruction booklet unfortunately has had some ink issues and smearing and kind of discoloration in it, which is unfortunate. And honestly, it's very uncommon for LEGO to have that, so, no hate there. But as you can see, this piece here, it doesn't show up well. It's kind of a misprinted, and I assumed it was black because it's kind of a dark blue. I thought maybe the ink ran out or something like that, so I went with black. And that's on step 121. But when you come all the way up to 145 or 144, you need those 2 black pieces. So this isn't black. This is supposed to be green. And if you go to the next page when you install it, it shows green here. I'm like, man, they really messed up the coloring on this. What's going on? Well, that's because this one here is supposed to be green. So if you have one of these booklets that has the messed up print, then that one is supposed to be green for 121, not black, because you'll need the 2 black pieces later and you don't have any spares. So just a heads up, in case you come across this and wondering, why do I have green, these leftover green ones when they're supposed to be black? That's why. So now I get to take it apart, redo it, and unfortunately adds 30 more seconds or so to the time. But just a heads up on that. The Ferrari SF90 XX is complete. And I have to start it off with, this is one, in my opinion, of the best looking Spee Champions out there. The F1, definitely a sexy looking Spee Champion, but this really competes with it. I mean, this thing looks good pretty much from all angles. with how little pieces there are, they did a lot with the design of this. So I applaud Lego on this one. Not to mention, they already added stickers in here for the fenders, the headlight, items like that that make it that much better looking because it doesn't rely on my mistake of putting the sticker on crooked. Now, what also adds to this are the wheels. Now, I know people are either like them or hate them when it comes to black wheels. But if you put that to the side, these wheels are not the hubcaps that you usually have on Spee Champions. These are the only choice for this set, which I'm okay with moving forward with Spee Champions. Get rid of the hubcaps, give me an actual rim. And that's what they did with this. I mean, look at this. They did the 5-spoke all the way out, and when you spin it, it looks good. It doesn't look like a hubcap paste on there. These are good looking wheels. And another awesome thing is when you get the actual rubber tires, they're, as you can see, super low profile. I like that. We're not just putting on like a chunky tire on a car that's a hyper, it's a hyper car or a race car, And the M3, I noticed that too, where they had the rim and also low profile tire. Same with this set. But man, that is a good looking rim. Whether you like black rims or not, this is good looking. And like I said, all angles, this set looks awesome. I'm glad I went with this one compared to the McLaren and Bugatti. I'll probably do the McLaren for the next, time I do a Spee Champion 2026 set. Probably be the McLaren next because the Bugatti I'm still, it's kind of ugly. I'm sorry. I know some people like it out there, but it's kind of ugly. This though, this is definitely top 1 or 2 for good looking Spee Champions. You may disagree, but I love it. And like I said, the wheels, they just add that final touch to it. So, as I already mentioned, you saw in this part of the time lapse, I did have some printing color issues with my instructions, so that made me rebuild everything for a little bit extra time. But bag 5, you took about 14 minutes, 39 seconds. So this was the longest bag, was bag 5. And it didn't help that I had to do a little rebuild because of the discoloration in my instructions. So I used the wrong pieces when they look dark blue when they're supposed to be green, but everything's fixed. We got it taken care of. Also, the piece that comes in here, I also had to rebuild that once, which added more time as well. And that's because you can really lose your orientation. You're flipping this thing upside down, right side up, upside down, right side up as you're installing pieces. And both sides have these little like vents almost on them. So you really need to pay attention. Which orientation are you looking at for which step? And that really added, probably a minute of time to that. So if you're careful, look at it right from the beginning, you'll be under that 14 minutes, no problem, especially if you didn't have color print issues in your instructions. Overall time, 53 minutes, 12 seconds. That's pretty close. I guessed 50 minutes. So under an hour, you get one of the best looking Spee Champions out there, and with some really awesome wheels, and a beautiful addition if you have a lot of Ferrari built. I have quite a few. I have the old Spee Champion Ferraris, I got the new ones, I got some older, bigger sets, and some Technic sets. I have a whole little shelf with Ferraris on it. Actually, I don't even have room for this one, so I'm not sure where I'm going to put it. But definitely a great addition to it. I love this Spee Champion. I love how it looked. What I don't love, and it failed the test. As you can see, it's not quite all the way on there, because Aurora cannot wear her hair. Even though she has shorter hair, she cannot wear it. It does not fit. So if you want your minifig to have her hair on, you're gonna have to turn it into one of those, weird special edition roadster types like McLaren makes with no windshield and no roof so bugs and rocks hit you in the face. They'll have to be like that, because that's what she's stuck with. She will no longer have this smile if a bug goes in her mouth, She wants to be able to enjoy this car like this, but she can't fully because it's kind of turning into a little bit of a T-top there, or a Perta, or whatever they call the Ferrari versions of the T-tops. But other than that, that's my only complaint about this. I wish she could wear her hair, but she can't. Other than that, great car, great build. and I'm really glad I got this and have it for my collection. Now, next week, we're going to be building a big set again, so get ready. It's probably going to be multi-episodes. I'm not sure how long it'll take. It's not a Technic set. It is a regular Lego set, but it's a larger one, and one that I've wanted for a long time, and it's not even a car. So here is your hint to what next week's build is going to start. Now, I'm sure you'll be able to guess it based on that. We'll see. But it's a set I've been eyeing ever since it came out. I've always had a fascination with this vehicle. I always loved it. Never seen it in real life. Would have been really cool to be on it at one point or another, if you know what I mean, if you guessed what it is, and we'll talk more about that next week. But I am looking forward to building it. I actually used it in one of my posts, joking about the cost of shopping at Target as it was sitting in the bottom of the basket. So if you scroll through my Instagram, which will be right here, you can check it out and actually see way in advance what I'm going to build. And speaking of Instagram, we're up to 500 followers. Absolutely amazing and awesome. It always fluctuates day by day. We lose some, we gain some, but we're right around that 500 mark. So if you want to see my builds, check them out. I always post on Wednesday, Thursday what my build is going to be for the week. So if you don't feel like waiting for the video, you can know right off bat whether or not you want to tune in, if it's something you like. Speaking of the channel, we're up to 35 subscribers. Absolutely amazing. I appreciate every one of you that do subscribe and take the time to watch the video. You know, time is precious. You can't get it back. And the fact that you throw me on your phone, tablet, big screen TV, you know, I can appreciate that. And I'm glad that you're here for each one of these little building journeys, some of them longer than others, but I'm really glad that you're a part of it. Even if you're not subscribed, shoot me a comment. What do you think of the build? Did you build this set yet? Did you already pick up the 2026 other ones and I'm completely wrong about the Bugatti and it looks beautiful? Let me know. If you built the Stinger or you're in the process of it, let me know your thoughts. I'm talking to you, Dorito and Mike. You know, both of you let me know you had it. If anybody else out there has it or has built it or ran into a bunch of problems with it, let me know. I'm curious just to find out. I actually got to look for this brand to see what other set I'm going to build in the future, because it'd be nice to see if, am I going to run into those problems that everybody talks about. Anyways, I hope you had a good week. I hope you enjoyed this build. Like I said, add this to your collection. Looks amazing. Very nice, both outside and inside with the dashboard and steering wheel setup. Love it. And I hope you have a great rest of your week and keep building.